Hello, fellow citizens. We're Sentinels Reprieve. I'm Eddie Rio. I'm joined by my good friend Vivamord, and we're going to discuss a sort of a hot topic that we have going on at the moment about Pyro and the lawlessness of Pyro.
I suppose we need to just ring fence what we're about to say by saying that it is all idle speculation. Like, that is the case with pretty much every single patch that we see or every tidbit of information that comes out. It's there for us to speculate over because no one really truly knows what it's going to actually look like until we get it in our hands to play with. And, me and Eddie will talk all day and long about this game because we damn well love it. But there is a good point that someone raises in a few threads that we've looked at, and that is that DayZ in particular is popular for a reason. And like I tend to agree, that is a dog eat dog sort of environment for everyone to play in, but at the same time it does work. So what about you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think the the problem that I think most people have is that obviously they're used to the Stanton system and the laws there. If you commit a crime, you can get a criminal rating and you end up in prison. So it's not like you're just going to go out and shoot people willy-nilly. And also in the stations, there are sort of secure areas where you can be, and you can't even get your gun out, and you can't shoot people, and you can't do things like that. And it seems to be at the moment that in Pyro, you can do whatever you want, wherever you want, which does breed a sort of a kill on sight mentality at the end of the day, and people want to, there's always going to be that type of person.
But at the same time, it's like those types of people that they are kind of lone wolves, right? And I wouldn't imagine for a second that any, we're gonna have to dive into rep at some point, like reputation. But if someone's just being a dick for the sake of being a dick, everyone, whether you're a bad guy or a good guy, are gonna go, that guy's a dick. Let's kill him. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like those ones are going to be weeded out pretty quickly. Whereas if it was like whole orgs camping everywhere and killing everywhere, there's no benefit aside from the lols for anyone to be doing that. Does that make
Well,
sense?
if there's cargo runners trying to, I mean, let's look at Eve and the nullsec of Eve, right? It's got its own laws run by the people that live there. They have their own defenses, don't they? And
That's
I
right.
suppose,
So,
that's
so
what it's trying to breed perhaps in Pyro.
but lawlessness, like from a empire standpoint, doesn't necessarily mean lawlessness because those that are in control will adhere to their own sort of code. I would imagine that the Ninetales initially, when you build rep with them, they'll expect a certain, you'll have to do jobs for them. You're not going to be able to walk in there and just walk up to the top man and shoot him and go, right, I'm the daddy now. You're going to have to, work with them. It's got to be a mutual agreement. And I feel that even if it was player owned, you'd still need to have that level of like interaction. What's in it for me? Do you know? Like no organization worth its salt, if it was in control of Pyro, would allow someone just to come in and act like a dick and shoot everyone, would they? Because that they either what do? They could either allow him to do it and therefore sort of reinforce what that person's doing through inactivity, or they could just go and tackle it and wipe him out so that they can start making the the, the bucks.
Yeah, we're dealing with a rep system which isn't fully integrated yet as well. But would it be the case that if you were waiting for your ship, you've called it, and say I come up behind you and I just shoot you in the head just for a laugh, what do you think that the consequences should be for that
Well,
then in lawless?
I would say the solution is to allow players to administrate their own reputation to people or organizations, So, like, if I have a bad interaction with someone, I want to be able to note down without having to get out a pen and a pad. I mean, we are talking like 21, whatever it is. I should be able to just say, right, if I come across that guy again, I want to know that he's a dickhead and mark him up, just for
Yeah.
me. And then that's my personal reputation on that person, and our interaction, and that's where they all, yeah. So, do you feel like a player administrated reputation system should exist? Because I feel, yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to have something that was noted down, even if you could open up their bio and then flag them red, as it were, so that
Yeah.
if you see them again, you know that they're going to
Or
cause trouble,
or let's say
or that they have caused trouble before.
if you had like an interaction with an organization, and there's a few people from that organization, you could just live and let live people. There's always one bad egg in every basket, but like you should be able to mark that organization as a whole. If it's clear that if they're called like pirate arseholes org, you know what I mean? And you've interacted with 3 out of 10 of them, and those 3 have been assholes, you might as well just mark the whole org as red, and then, yeah.
But it's
When.
even in the Stanton system, if you come across another player and you shoot them down, you don't get any police, as it were, coming to shoot you down. Unless you go to a specific place, or you get, you fly past the station and they're going to start shooting you because your rep has dropped because you've killed someone. So even then, you can survive in a system like that by being a bit naughty and
Sure.
escaping on the fringes. And obviously they've introduced Pyro as this lawless place because they want that to be a part of the game, and they're going to work out what they need to do to make it happen and to make it work as well.
Well, I suppose it's like the polar opposite of Stanton. It's like you've got the goody sort of full UE secure space, and now we've got the absolute other end of it. And then I always see it as like a experimentation. So if they can get both of those polar opposites correct, then everything in between should sort of fall into line. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
because there should be other systems which are in between those two things as well. So
Precisely.
and you don't have to go into Pyro or into a security space where there isn't security like that. It's your option if you want to risk it or not.
But obviously, the allure of a new system is going to bring a lot of people in. I just hope that like people don't get too stressed by getting shot down. I mean, it's gonna happen. It will. It's lawless, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because there should be mechanisms that allow you to exist within that environment that don't mean that you have to flip in worry. If you're in with the right people, then it shouldn't matter where you go.
That's it. And it would be a lot better if they added 100 systems and say 20 of them were lawless, 50 of them were, in between, and then another however many's left were sort of high security space. And then,
Yeah, like UE owned.
yeah, and then people would have a lot more exploration to do, and not feel so pressured into going into Pyro to have a look, because it's exciting and it's new and people want to go and have a look at it. But they're also like, oh, I've just been shot down. And
We should do an experiment, and just as an org, we should just take down every single one of the what are they called? The relays. Every single one. So all of Stanton becomes technically lawless,
yeah,
because crimes aren't being reported, and it still runs. We've done it in area like I don't fly into an area in Stanton, look in the top right, see that the satellite relay's down, and think, oh no, I better not go here because I can be shot with no repercussions. It's like, yeah, let's go and see what happens, because works both ways, doesn't it? If someone's able to shoot at me, I'm able to shoot back. So
I'm excited to give it a go, though. I'm looking forward to it, and I love the fact that you've really got to watch your back there, and it's going to make it interesting if obviously Pyro has some high credit commodities that you can trade, and it is a risk, and you have to take a few friends with you and support and everything, and it makes it a bit more exciting. Like you were saying about DayZ, it's got that same edge to it, hasn't it?
Well, everyone gravitates to where the good loot is, so you're gonna come across people that are like, there for the same reasons as you. So best be ready. If not, don't
Risk it for a
go.
biscuit.
You know it. Right, I reckon we should get on and play, don't you?
Definitely. That sounds good.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. And if you've stayed this long, appreciate your time. Drop a like on it, would ya? And you can always come and join us in the Discord. Details down below. Cheers.
Bye.